Baseball season's underway. You better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies. Welcome to an Overreaction off day. Yes, the Cubs lost yesterday, and I want you all, as Cubs fans, to step back from the fucking ledge and just take a minute to think about what happened yesterday. The Cubs lost the rubber match to the Nationals. I expected it. I really fucking expected it. The series loss, that is. The Nats threw out Scherzer and Strasburg, and the Cubs did not have Arrieta or Lester going. And yet the Cubs still almost took the fucking series. All right? So this does not mean, the Cubs are fucked now if they face the Nationals in the playoffs or some silly shit like that. You know, so let's just calm down. And as far as the bullpen goes, listen, games like yesterday are going to happen. And I know the bullpen needs to add an arm. They do. But it's not horrible. Yesterday doesn't mean, holy fuck, let's blow the whole thing fucking up. And yeah, you know, it'll be all right. I mean, Rendon has had a bad last couple days. Okay, he's blown 2 saves in a row. All right. But let's look at on the season. Let's not have an overreaction to one fucking game. He's still been one of the best relievers in baseball. And then the Cubs have 3 other relievers whose ERAs are below 2.66 going into yesterday. So this bullpen is not as bad as people want to think. I do want them to go get another arm. And now the rumors have just magnified to like another fucking level after yesterday's loss. Before there was rumblings of Theo's really, looking into Miller, want to reunite with him, blah, blah, blah. Now, yesterday, the rumors are, fuck it. The Cubs are going to get Chapman and Miller. Shit, fuck. Why the fuck not? I mean, let's fucking go. I don't see it happening because the Cubs would have to give up so fucking much to get both those guys. Miller was already going to cost a pretty penny because he's under contract for another 2 years. And throw in Chapman, okay, he's a rental and he has some baggage, but he's not going to be like the cheapest thing going. So to get both, I just don't see it happening, especially when the Cubs say Schwarber's off limits, Contreras is off limits. Anyone listening, by anyone I mean all 5 of you, don't know who Contreras is. He's the top catching prospect in the minor leagues. The kid's just fucking raking. If he's not the full-time starter at the beginning of next year, I'll be shocked. They also said Baez is pretty much off limits. So, I mean, what does that leave? Soler, maybe Torres, who's a very young shortstop. I think he might be like 19. He's not major league ready yet, but apparently he's the, fucking cat's pajamas. You got McKinney down there, Vogelbach. Vogelbach needs to get moved in some kind of trade to an American League team. All right. If Schwarber has DH written all over him, which he does, then Vogelbach's got it fucking just tattooed, a fucking tramp stamp that says DH on his fucking back. All right. And there's a guy that's playing at the big league level that you may have heard of that's blocking any first baseman. His name starts with R, ends with an O, and has an is in the middle. Yeah. So maybe a Vogelbach. I don't know. I really don't want to part with Schwarber, despite his knee getting shredded. And if they do, they need to get something better than a reliever. I'm sorry. I know Miller is the best left-handed reliever in the game right now, but I just don't value relievers that much to give up a potential 30 home run bat. Put him in a wheelchair in left field if he's going to hit 30 home runs. Fuck it. But back to the Nats series. I'm in a fantasy baseball community. If you've never been in one, be jealous. That's how fucking cool I am. FantasySportsAddicts.com. If you're listening to this, maybe you want to listen to a bunch of addicts rant and rave about fantasy baseball. But anyway, one of the members on there, and before I get into what he said, let me make a disclaimer about the Nationals and what I think of the Nats, because obviously my opinion fucking matters. It's a joke. And I think they are a great team. They're not in first place for nothing. They have a solid lineup. They play good defense. Scherzer and Strasburg are possible of shutting down any team in the playoffs. Like, I prefer not to face those guys. And the bullpen, when healthy, is solid. Although they're looking for moves and probably the same pieces the Cubs are. But having said all that, this particular fan wound up spouting off, maybe not spouting off, but stating this game yesterday, in which the Nationals barely pulled it off to a team that, like I said, didn't have Arrieta or Lester going, that it was a, quote, statement game. Whatever the fuck that means. That since the Nationals were able to win yesterday, now they know they can do that in the playoffs. Okay. So you're saying a game in June, in fucking June, means something come almost 4 months from now, when they may or may not even meet. Moreover, the Cubs are 2-5 against the Nationals. They were a couple outs away from being 6-1. And then all this other shit about the Cubs are going to feel the pressure. What the fuck? What does that even fucking mean? When those motherfuckers step on the field during a regular season game, all they're concerned about is fucking winning. And I think at this point, where the Cubs are, whatever they are, 24 over 500, and in the spring training in February and March, they had fucking all the hype in the world, and people weren't sure how, the Cubs would handle it. I think they've handled the quote-unquote pressure pretty fucking good. They have the best record in the majors. They're on pace for one of the best run differentials in the last 100 years. I think they're handling it quite fine, and they have the perfect manager in Joe Madden for this type of situation. He prints shirts that say, try not to suck. All right? He has shirts that say, embrace the target. Like, he could care fucking less, and that emanates throughout the whole clubhouse. So I'm not worried about this fucking pressure shit. The only thing that's going to stop the Cubs from playing well are more injuries. And come playoff time, guess what? Every team feels pressure. It's October. I don't care if you've had the hype back in February, March or not. You're going to feel fucking pressure. I mean, Jesus Christ. So, to wrap this up on an overreaction off day, the Cubs bullpen isn't perfect, but it's not as bad as yesterday indicates. Those games are going to happen, as I said. And Theo is going to get a bullpen arm, I assure you. Not that I have any inside knowledge, but I would be shocked. They realize that this year they have a legitimate chance. And I know they have a window, supposedly. They have all these young guys, but you don't know how quickly that window can just close. Some fucking stiff breeze comes along, a.k.a. Bryant blows out a knee, Rizzo fucking falls on his cock and breaks it. Whatever. Shit can change in an instant. So when they have a chance, and when you have an owner who's not just some schmee trying to just make a buck, now he's trying to make money. I mean, that's why he's in this, but he's a Cubs fan. I've been a lifelong Cubs fan. For Christ's sake, there's pictures from like the 50s with his family's name on top of one of the rooftops for advertising. Like, when you have Theo and an owner like that, I assure you they're going to go out and improve this team. So let's just step back from the fucking ledge, my friend. And on an overreaction off day, let's just calm down and take a deep breath. Everything will be all right. And one more time, just listen to the words.